Hello everybody, this is video tip 3 of the YouTube video series. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how to generate a little bit more speed, clubhead speed, in your swings. It's obviously a very elusive thing for golfers to try and find. They often try and sort of understand it as power, saying I need more power in my swing. The only problem with the word power is if you sort of associate power with anything else you do in any other sports, it's a really sort of an aggressive, sort of really tense, tight, forceful kind of action, and that's not really what we wanted to try and happen in the golf swing. To make the ball go further, increasing distance with the irons and woods. What we need the club head and the club itself to be swinging faster, because increasing club head speed will increase the ball speed if you hit the ball at the middle of the club face. 1 mile per hour extra in club head speed is about 2.8 yards in extra carry distance. So if you can generate an extra 5 or 6 miles an hour clubhead speed, all of a sudden you're talking 12 to 14 yards of extra carry distance, which is, a club and a half. Okay, so what we really need to do to increase that clubhead speed is you have to improve your kinetic link or kinematic sequence. That sounds like a very fancy term. What that really involves is moving and turning your body in the right order, in the right sequence. Okay, there is a sequence of movement that must happen in all golf swings to produce, a great amount of speed. Okay, so what it really is, as we're turning the body, winding up the body on the backswing, we want to try and make sure that we start that movement, that transition to the downswing from the ground up. Okay, so that is using the ground forces through the feet, and then up through the hips, torso, shoulders, and then the arms to create the correct sequence. What I've done here to demonstrate, I've just got a little rope here, okay, and this is going to help demonstrate how we can practice to time and maneuver this swing the correct kinematic, or let's say kinetic link. Okay, so I have this rope here. Now this rope will not move on its own. Okay, and if I just use my arms, you can see I can't get any slack out of that rope. Okay, it's just going to be full of slack here. So it also helps the backswing because we're making sure that we turn the big parts of our body away, the hips, torso, and the core. Is that we're starting by turning and moving those parts of the body. On the way down, you can see I can actually make that rope swing and swoosh through the air. Right. So the only way I'm able to do that is from the top of my swing. Okay, I'm moving into my left side, I'm putting all the force into my left foot, I'm lining up my left hip joint with my left ankle joint to form a platform for which to turn around. Okay, so that's the starting from the ground up sequence that you're after. Okay, so from the top of the swing, I'm putting all the pressure and force through and down into my left foot, and then I'm turning and pulling the hips. Okay, and then what will happen then is as my hips regain maximum stretch, they will start to pull and turn the upper body, the torso, and as I turn the torso, that will pull and stretch on the shoulder joint will pull and stretch on the arm, and then the arm will pull and stretch on the club. And every link that's occurring through that sort of chain of events from the ground up is multiplying the speed of the club. Right? That's really through a physics term, conservation of angular momentum. Angular velocity is moving something in a circle to create a whip. Okay? a carousel. Okay, the middle pole of the carousel is turning quite slow, but then the horses and the carriages on the outside are going around really fast. Okay, so conservation of angular momentum. The further a point is away from the centre, the faster it goes, if it's going in a circle. You can't get any speed or velocity if you're going laterally, sideways. If you're moving to the side, moving up and down on it, you're not creating any sort of circular motion, and then if your body's not doing that, the club is not going to be taking on any circular motion either. So practice with a rope, if you can get one in the garage or something, out in the garden. Just turn and set the club or set the rope on your shoulder, okay, and then practice pulling it through. Now I did try and do this earlier, where this silly old little rope is going to be able to hit a golf ball. Okay, so you can see the only way that ball could go anywhere was because I created angular momentum, okay, which actually pulled and tightened this rope as I struck the ball. Okay, another term, centrifugal force, fancy term, basically means a movement towards the centre creates a reaction and a force away from the centre. That's how that rope managed to extend and straighten right at the bottom of the swing, like snapping a whip, snapping a chain. Okay, so if I just use my arms, there's no way on earth that I could get that ball to go anywhere. I couldn't even make contact with it. Okay, the only way I can get that ball to go anywhere is by turning and using the rotation of my body in the right sequence from the ground up, creating a swoosh and a swing with that rope. Another little drill you can do, if you don't have a rope handy and down the practice ground, is flip the club upside down. So you hold it by the neck of the club, practice making a swoosh, a swooshing sound. Right? And then what you're trying to do is you're trying to create the swoosh down near where the ball would be, in line with the ball. If you start making and hearing the swoosh way up here, right, you're out of sequence. You're starting from the shoulders and you're starting from the top down, okay? Creating all the swoosh here, and by the time it gets to the ball, everything is decelerated and slowed down, okay? And that's what I think that people do when they try and create power in the swing. They use their chest, shoulders, those muscles to try and power the club, and it's giving them the wrong image and the wrong idea, because the club, as much as they're trying to really power that club down, it's decelerating the whole time. The only way we can get that acceleration is by creating the circle, rotation, and making sure that we start from the ground up, getting that kinetic link in the right order. Okay? Force through the feet into left foot, the ankle joint, pulling on the left hip. Okay, the hips pull the torso pulls the shoulders, shoulders pull the arms, arms pull the club through. Okay, in that order. So, grab a club, you can do that down the driving range. Create that swoosh at the low point of the swing, where the ball is. You can also use an analogy of this is a matchstick, the mat is a matchbox, and strike the match right down at the bottom. Okay, again, if you're going to get out of sequence, you'll start striking the match way too early. So work on those couple little drills, and you should be increasing your club head speed, okay, by getting your swing in the right